Have you ever found yourself wondering what she's really thinking? What she actually wants from you that she'll never say out loud? The truth is, most men will spend their entire lives never understanding what women truly desire. But what if I told you there are 4 specific things, 4 key behaviors that women are silently begging you to demonstrate? These aren't shallow tricks or manipulation tactics. These are the foundational elements that separate the men who consistently build deep, passionate connections from those who remain perpetually confused by the women in their lives. Today, I'm pulling back the curtain on the unspoken desires that women carry with them into every interaction, the things they desperately want you to know but will never directly tell you. Number 1, take the emotional lead. Women want a man who isn't afraid to navigate emotional territory. Think about this. Have you ever been with a woman who seemed distant, maybe even a little cold? Your instinct was probably to pull back, to match her energy. That's exactly what she doesn't want you to do. When a woman retreats emotionally, she's not testing you. She's unconsciously checking if you're capable of holding space when things get complicated, if you can remain steady when she cannot. Most men immediately mirror a woman's emotional state. If she's upset, they get defensive. If she's distant, they withdraw. But what she really wants is for you to be the emotional anchor, to recognize the current beneath the surface without being swept away by it. This doesn't mean fixing her problems or dismissing her feelings. It means having the courage to step toward her emotionally when most men step back. When you can say, I see something's going on with you. I'm here when you're ready to talk about it, and then continue being present without pressure. You're doing something that 90% of men can't or won't do. You're taking the emotional lead. And here's why this matters so much. Women are constantly managing everyone else's emotions, at work, with friends, with family. The ability to be with someone who can handle emotional complexity without shutting down is incredibly rare and deeply attractive. Think about the last time you faced emotional tension with a woman in your life. Did you push for a resolution too quickly? Did you withdraw? Or did you create a space where emotions could exist without judgment? Your answer reveals more than you might think about your capacity for intimate connection. Number 2, create moments of genuine surprise. Think back to the last time you truly surprised someone. Not with an expensive gift or grand gesture, but with an action that showed you were paying attention to who they really are. Women crave the feeling of being truly seen, of being understood in ways that go beyond the surface. But here's what most men miss. Women don't want predictable romance. They want evidence that you're actually present, that you notice the details of who they are. The surprise element isn't about the scale of the gesture, it's about the specificity. Remembering her mentioning a book she wanted to read months ago and finding a copy, noticing when she's had a long week and creating space for her to decompress, picking up on her unique sense of humor and sharing something that specifically speaks to it. These moments of surprise tell her something crucial, that you're not just going through the motions, that you're actually absorbing who she is and responding to her uniqueness. Most men think women want grand gestures. What they really want is evidence that you're paying attention when it seems like no one else is. The ability to create these small moments of he gets me is something women value far more than they'll ever directly tell you. When was the last time you noted something specific about her that others typically miss? If you're struggling to answer that question, it might be time to start paying closer attention to the details she's already sharing. Number 3, demonstrate social leadership. There's something magnetic about a man who knows how to navigate social situations with ease and confidence. But here's what most men misunderstand. Social leadership isn't about dominating a room or being the loudest voice. It's about creating comfort and connection for those around you. Women are watching how you interact with the bartender, how you engage with her friends, whether you can make the awkward person in the corner feel included in the conversation. These small moments reveal something essential about your character, about whether you use your social energy to elevate others or simply to elevate yourself. A man who can introduce people with thoughtful details that help them connect, who remembers names, who can diffuse tension with humor without making anyone the target. This is the man who demonstrates true social intelligence. And no, she'll never directly tell you how much this matters. But make no mistake, women are constantly evaluating your social awareness, not because they're judgmental, but because it reveals your capacity for empathy, awareness, and leadership in its purest form. When you make others feel seen and valued in social settings, you're showing her something essential about how you'll treat her and everyone else in your shared life. The next time you're out together, pay attention to how she responds when you make her friend feel welcome, or when you remember the name of the waiter from your last visit. These small acts of social awareness speak volumes about the kind of partner you'll be. Number 4, maintain your center. Perhaps the most powerful thing a woman wants from you is the ability to stay centered in your own purpose and values. There's a fundamental truth that few men ever fully grasp. A woman doesn't want to be your center. She wants to be chosen by a man who has a center of his own. When you abandon your passions, your friendships, your purpose to focus entirely on her, you're not showing devotion. You're showing that you lack internal direction. Think about the men throughout history who have been deeply attractive to women. They weren't the men who made women their entire world. They were the men who invited women into a world they were already building. A woman wants the tension of knowing that while you desire her completely, you remain committed to your purpose, your growth, and your authentic path. This creates the perfect balance she'll never directly ask for. She wants to know she matters deeply to you, while also knowing you matter deeply to yourself. There's nothing more attractive than a man who can say both, "You're incredibly important to me," and "This principle matters too much for me to compromise," in the same breath. What are you passionate about outside of your relationships? What principles would you stand by, even if it meant temporary discomfort? Your answers define the kind of centering force you bring to your connections with women. These 4 elements, taking emotional leadership, creating genuine moments of surprise, demonstrating social awareness, and maintaining your center, they form the foundation of what women truly want from the men in their lives. And yet, most women will never directly tell you they want these things, not because they're playing games, but because these desires run so deep they often can't be articulated, because society has taught women to lower their expectations, because they've learned that explicitly asking for these qualities often leads to men performing them, rather than embodying them. The real question isn't whether you can check these boxes for a week or a month. It's whether you're willing to develop these capacities as core elements of who you are as a man. Because when you do, you'll find yourself connecting with women in ways that most men will never experience. Not through tricks or techniques, but through the authentic expression of your highest masculine qualities. The qualities women have always wanted, but will never directly tell you to develop. The choice to become this man is entirely yours. Ask yourself, which of these 4 elements comes most naturally to you, and which requires your immediate attention? Your honest assessment here isn't just about improving with women, it's about becoming the kind of man who creates deeper connections in every area of life. The journey toward embodying these qualities starts with a single step. What will yours be?